All right, we're getting ready to go live.
Yay! Looks like we're live.
Okay, hello, 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 friends. This is Leela here, and we've got Elle Ingalls. And what we're going to talk about today is self-love. So I'm trying to see here, just so you know what I'm doing is I'm looking down, and I'm wanting to look on the phone. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I just want to make sure. So Elle Ingalls, I love you. I'm
I
so
love you
happy to see you
too.
this evening. I'm really grateful that we're friends and that we're connected. And what I will say, I tend to have a pretty easy time loving, no, not always easy, but an easier time loving other people. And loving myself, I realize is kind of a little bit harder. Do you ever find that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Hmm.
Yeah, so we wanted to come on tonight, friends. I wanted to bring on Elle Ingalls. We are doing a superhuman retreat in July in Pentwater, Michigan.
Yes.
And a retreat, we're just gonna talk for a few minutes today about loving yourself. And tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern,
Hmm.
right? Yeah. We are going to do a webinar on the ways to get the most out of live events, right?
Yeah. Any
Mm-hmm.
kind of live event.
Any kind of live event. So we want you to come to our retreat and learn how to release stress hormones from your body, right, Elle? And learn the bowspring and practice the bowspring on the beach at sunset, eat great food, learn how to release what's not serving you and have a clear vision to move forward and have some accountability along the way. But
Yeah.
really, retreats, live events are a way to love yourself more. And I wanted to just talk about, I wanted to share the story about my self-love journey a little bit, but I wanted to ask you first, because I find you to be the kind of person who you really unconditionally love people. So thank you for showing me unconditional love and showing an example of being somebody who can, exhibit unconditional love in this lifetime. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
It's
let's.
the process.
It's okay. Great. That's what I was going to say. So I was going to say, how do you do it? How do you do it?
I didn't always do it.
Okay.
So part of my journey in creating the pressure-free method and using the pressure-free method myself, I discovered where I was holding judgment and
Mm.
where I was blocking a lot of my love. So it's like super easy for me to love certain people. And you may feel that way on the other side of the screen too, that you
Yeah.
may
Give us some
feel,
hearts or some. Give us some hearts or some fun of those like happy faces or something. Maybe you're like,
yeah,
yeah, some humans are easier to love than other humans.
right, right.
Yeah.
And we talk about, one of the things that I have done a lot of lives on and I work on with my clients is you hear the phrase all the time, toxic people. I
Right.
really don't believe in that. I believe there's people we don't resonate with. But honestly, if we're going to have a better planet, if we're going to have a better world, we need to get out of all these judgments. And so
Mhm.
pressure
So
free
let me ask you this.
did that for me.
So we talk about loving others, right? We actually talk about this quite a bit. Now let me ask you,
Mm-hmm.
how do you do this with yourself?
Yeah. First of all, recognizing the judgments we have about ourselves. Little things like, oh, I'm not very good at that. I'm really stupid when it comes to blah, blah, blah. Like little judgments. Even if you can
Mm.
catch yourself just with those little judgments at first and just notice them. Today I was having a great conversation at the Ingalls Picture Open House with a young man. And he said something and I said, okay, stop right there. Do you hear what you just said? And then we reversed it out. And it was so eye-opening for him because I think we don't even realize how we're
So
doing
let me
that.
ask you personally, because I'm gonna ask you about your personal
Yeah,
experience here. So you find yourself judging yourself sometimes. Is that true?
absolutely.
Okay. So what do you do about like what's that like?
Um, First, if I see it, gotta see it first.
Okay. Beautiful. So reveal it, like bring awareness. Okay.
Reveal
Beautiful.
it. Bring
Okay.
awareness. Okay, so wow, I just did that, or I just thought that, and
Hmm.
then I will turn it into a question to spin myself a different direction. Like, okay, how can I release that, or how can I shift that? I often will smile and look up in my head and say, caught you talking
Got
about
you.
smack.
I love that one.
Yeah. So it's
I
like you
mean,
catch yourself.
like I want to share with our audience, like use that. Like anytime you have a negative thought in your head about yourself, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not far enough along, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Oh, caught you.
Caught you.
I love
It's
that
like,
one. I love that one.
I used to say this to myself, who's really talking to me?
I thought
Who's
that
talking to me?
like, who is that?
Who is that? How come, don't go into the why we have the judgment. Decide you want to shift it. Because if you go into the whys, you may go way down a rabbit hole. Like
We don't always know that our why is true. We can go, why is that? And I mean, just to be real, because I work with a lot of clients and I love and I help them grow their businesses. And a lot of the clients I work with are more, people that have done a lot of personal development. And I love that about them because they're far further along in their awareness and they're not as much in victim mentality. They're more empowered. It's so fun to work with them. At the same time, sometimes they stay in personal development world, right? And we talk about this. It's like, okay, friends, get out of personal development world and go do some things in the 3D world, right?
Yes.
It's all, we need both, right? We need both. And so I think, let me ask you, like, I love what you share, and we talk about this on the phone a lot about, like, it doesn't really always matter why, right?
Doesn't matter
like,
why.
The personal development world sometimes does that deep dive, trying to figure it out thing, which is like, there's benefit to that. I'm not trying to diminish it by any means. At times, though, the thing is like the trying to figure it out, what it's all about, because I'm guilty of it. I have the exact I'm in the personal development world too. I'm like, what is that thing about? And no. Is there a story from my childhood?
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't always matter. No, it's just, what do you want your story to be? Right. I think that's kind of what you were saying. I get excited about this.
And I think too, like, if you need to go into that, I really suggest you have guidance.
Yeah.
Because you can go down a rabbit hole and really go into some very negative mental stuff. And so one thing that I love about what you and I do is it's very action oriented, and we take people, where are you now and where do you want to go? And if you need this help back here, I always suggest to my clients, maybe you need to see a therapist about that and really do the deep dive with guidance.
With guidance. Because the stories that we can make up about what the thing is about, we don't know if it's actually true.
Yeah.
That's what I realized.
Yeah. And we are coaches.
Yeah. And we are coaches, right? We're not therapists.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's not our work. What we do is move people present to future. Present to future.
Yeah. And the thing is about that, on this whole idea of self-love. So we want you to come to our event in Michigan, in Pittwater, and this retreat. If you can't come to the 3-day retreat, come to the Wednesday event. That's the 10th, right? 10th, the July 10th event in Pittwater. It's a Wednesday evening. If you can't come to the 12th through the 14th, just get up there. It's a really good event for people who want to go by themselves and love themselves, but also, like, if you're a couple, or if you're a mother-daughter, father-daughter, father-son, any sort of friendships, you're growing, and you're just people who want to grow together and learn how to love yourself within relationship. That's what I think is really special about you, Elle, and your family and what you guys all do together. You really love each other, but you let each other be and love them. You've told me before, we each have our own spiritual journey. Your whole family. And I think that's the self-love piece. So I want to share a little story about the Bowspring, because at the retreat, what we're doing when we say, like, we're helping you become more superhuman, elevate your supernatural abilities. It's really love yourself more, isn't it? It's like when you release any of those stories, those judgments, that old, like, identity, then you are able to really love yourself in the present moment for who you are now and where you want to go. Right. So I want to share the Bowspring. When I found the Bowspring, if you don't know what the Bowspring is and you're like, what is the Bowspring? It's kind of like curvy, bouncy yoga on the outside. It's a fascia-based practice, so we work the connective tissue. And we also, one of the primary things is, this is why I'm bringing it up, is that we use it's a huge presence practice, mindfulness practice. We use our mind, like what we think our mind up here, and we bring it down into this. So we start with the heart, right? What we say, first things first. We start. And that concept of love, loving self is, we think of the heart, right? Love. Oh. So the physical heart on the left side of the chest, and the high heart, kind of spiritual heart, we think of more in the middle, and people go, oh, it's that spiritual heart here. And with the Bowspring system, what I learned was how to go bring my mind into my heart space, inside all sides, the front, the back, all the sides of the heart, around it, in it, feel it, open it, expand it. When I did that back in 2014, I physically felt love for myself. Nothing like it before. So what we talk about is like how to love other people sometimes, and like other people get to you, and how to just let that be and work on yourself. But like this actual pouring in of love for self, opening yourself up for this more loving energy, clearing out what's not serving you so that more loving energy can come in, expressing love from the inside, all of that. That's really what the Bowspring is. And the more we practice it, when I found that, and I felt that for myself, I was like, I'm leaving my career. I'm leaving the state that I live in. I'm selling half of my stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm on a journey to love myself. And I'm going to move to Denver, Colorado and practice that Bowspring. So I did. And I came here. I studied right away. I took the training. I taught for a couple of years. I started the business. I teach it to entrepreneurs, right? And the whole idea really is to love thyself so much, to go in so much that we're unshakable. Right?
I love it. And I want to share too, because I'm going to share this out on my page. And the fact that I'm bringing the person that I consider to be the most amazing yoga teacher in the world, and I've seen a lot of them, and that's you, because when anyone that I see is in your presence and you start teaching, it's like, it is superhuman, honest to goodness. And my husband will back it up. My kids will back it up. When you came in March to Michigan and we experienced you as a family, it was life-changing. And so when Leela says, come as family members, come to this retreat, you will be so happy that you did, because we're literally bringing what I consider to be the best yoga teacher in the world with a totally new concept you probably have never experienced. And it will rock your world, and it will change your world. It's not like any yoga you've ever seen. You will feel like you can do it. She will teach you how in such a gentle, beautiful way that you'll instantly feel, no matter what your age. In fact, I think back to your retreat 2 years ago when you and I were together in Denver, or Manitou Springs, and we had 2 sisters there.
That was so fun.
We had 3 sisters at our event.
At our last event, yeah, like, sisters, come, we love you.
And then one of the sisters was paired up with a 22-year-old young man who came to our retreat. What I love is that. So we had like a 50-year-old woman with a 22-year-old young man experiencing our retreat together. So cool. So, and
very similar, what they realize is it's the same. We're all the same, no matter what, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was so amazing to get the feedback from people from that March event. So we want you there in July. Yeah. We want you to come and experience this. I feel so honored you are willing to come, and I'm just going to I want us to be filled. We were filled in March.
We were filled in March. We'll fill, and it'll fill up, but it's just the way we roll. There is no other way. It's going to be super fun because it's, right near Lake Michigan, right on Lake Michigan, near Lake Michigan, in that town, Pentwater, which is like adorable, right? I mean, it's just beautiful. Adorable and beautiful. And just one of those places that if you need to get away and have that just kind of, when you're like intense energy all the time and you're just like, I need to get away, just come and relax. And it's like a reset button for the heart to love yourself more. Expect beautiful things, amazing expansion, wonderful opportunities to come your way afterwards. It just will. Things will open up for you. It always does after a retreat like this. And what I love about our collaboration is that just like the Bowspring system is a self-love tool, so is pressure free.
Right.
I
I love
mean,
how you use the word soft, because what you won't feel from either of us as coaches is pressure. What you will feel is an unconditional support to unleash you, to unlock you. And I think that that is what makes what we do together very magical. It's like an
yes,
unlocking, an unleashing. I was even sharing a couple of Bowspring things today with a person, and they were just like, this is amazing. You know, so it's like that's what we would do. It's an unlocking.
it is. You know, I was at this Soul Sister gathering last night with a whole bunch of women, beautiful women at this gal's house that host these events and creates this gorgeous evening for all of us. It's so beautiful. And we do some deep connecting exercises. We do sparkles on the face, girly stuff. We eat great potluck food, and we do some internal meditation work, some energy work in terms of, you know, livening our bodies up. And one of the things she had us do was like speak out our gifts. And what came out of my mouth was, I believe in your dreams. That is my gift. I was a cheerleader. Hello. Well, I can look back, right? We can look back and what we loved to do when we were younger. But what have I always done? Cheer somebody on. I even remember like this kid, I won't say his name just in case like somebody knows him and just be weird, but this kid that I went to school with, he was always picked on. And I remember pulling out my Xena warrior princess energy and be like, hey, leave blah, blah, blah alone, right? Like I've always been kind of like this, but just mouthy, you know? But I believe in people's dreams. And I'm like, that kid, I could see already that it was like he was getting squashed every single day. His dreams,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
A little bit. So I was always like, hey, freaking out over that one boy in class I remember growing up. And I have stories like this over and over and over about people. And what I will say is that it's, you know, we're video about self-love journey, right? Doing self-love. It's that to believe in other people's dreams, we have to believe in our own first.
Right. Wow, this is so cool because we just had the basically when people come to the Ingles Pictures open house, they come in and they write down their big picture dreams.
Ingles Pictures, tell them about Ingles Pictures. Like, do Ingles Pictures drop.
So Ingles Pictures is a video production company that my two older sons are in partnership creating. My husband and my other son are independent contractors working for them. They have a team of videographers and they do all sorts of videography all over the world, actually. And so this is the second annual open house. And it was just like a barbecue in your backyard, but they had it at their office and in a parking lot with basketball hoops and cornhole and food and
Yeah.
people had an amazing time, real connecting. I mean, that I'm sitting with this young man and one of the things I said, we had this dream board, you come in and you write your dreams.
Mhm.
And we had last year, so people who came last year could see what they wrote last year.
Nice.
So we keep their dreams. We keep their dreams alive at Ingles Pictures. That's important. And
so what was on the dream? Oh, go ahead. You got more. I'm interested.
So I asked this young man, and he was just basically telling me like what he could do right away. There were no big picture dreams, right? So I got him to stretch. He said, no, I'm talking like big dreams. What are your big dreams? And then he started opening up. He goes, yes. Well, I really want to travel with my business and blah, 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 blah. And then it was like all starting to tumble out. And what it reminded me, I said to him, you know, it's so hard when we're in fight or flight, which is what I coach you about. It's so hard to dream. You can't because you're just trying to survive.
Girl, nailed it. Woo. Nailed it.
You can't dream in fight or flight.
Yeah, I've been in survival. You know, I was in survival almost my entire life until recently. Survival mode. Financially, a big part of it since, you know, kicked out at 18, still, you know, always doing work that was service oriented, low paid. That's why I'm so like, we got to get the service work people paid more. Right. I'm so like, you know, animate about it. So yeah, so I really appreciate that. It's like, once we get out of fight or flight, the thing is here's what I would say. You know, I was in fight or flight and all that for years, kind of survival mode around finances. I take that back. I take it all back what I just said. I wasn't in fight or flight or survival around finances because I could have $0. I could have negative a bajillion dollars right now and not be in fight or flight.
That's right. Yeah.
Boom. So I take it all back.
Wow.
I was in survival at some point, right? I was still trying to figure it out and grow as a soul, my brain and all of that. However, if I would have had pressure free back in like the day, right? I wouldn't have had all these challenges along the way. Wouldn't got such distractions. So,
and here's what I have to be careful of. In my past career, if I encountered someone that I saw squashing people's dreams or going into scarcity mode instead of abundance mode, who claimed to be a leader, I went all Xena warrior. Like, this is not
full Wyatt.
This is full Wyatt. This is not okay. It's not okay for you to squash other people's dreams and bully people's dreams. And I mean, I get really wild about that. And so now, like with Pressure Free, I can stay in the zone to not hold judgment, but craft better. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When our brain's not fogged up by adrenaline and cortisol is not going running through our blood, right? It's not, we have actually an ability to make more clear decisions. So let me ask you this. Let's talk about, what does it look like when somebody's not really loving themselves? What does it look like? Like for me, I'll give you kind of some ideas of what I see with people because I'm a body coach right?
And then something really big just came to me, so go for it.
I think when people are in lack mentality, scarcity around money, and when they're not taking care of their body, right? Those are the two things that my eyeballs are just trained to seeing, right? Is when somebody feels scared around money, or if they're making poor decisions, what I would call poor decisions. That's a judgment call, of course, but decisions around like their food or their exercise or whatever around their body. Usually, like my first thing I think of is, they don't quite love themselves yet fully, right? We all have our things to work on. So those are the things that I often see. And then I often see like the career stuff, like somebody like thinking they have to stay in one career and not do something else that they really want to do, that their heart calls for. I think there's a self-love issue there, right? I think that there's an opportunity to love thyself a lot more around career. So I'm curious, like, how do you see, like, when people, what's like something like a thing, like something you think of, like, they don't fully love themselves yet?
I, like you, I'm always scanning bodies, and where I see tension, like grinding teeth, chewing nails, jiggling legs. That's a sign to me that there's a discomfort in the body. There's a tension. There's the release of too much adrenaline, stress. They're nervous in the situation. Yeah. So that gets to the self-love. And I was sharing today with a young man that when I was in like 3rd, 4th grade, I jiggled my leg constantly. And I also, I scratched my scalp so hard it bled.
Okay. Just nervous energy, right?
Nervous energy and adrenaline. And so, and to me, it's a reflection that there's something inside the person saying, I'm not good enough, or I need to be better, or push in a negative way, instead of unleashing the power. It's this is huge. This is a great concept. We both work with a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs too. And so, this piece about push, right? Instead of unleash the power within, it's a very different energy, and it will show up. It's a totally different energy. And you'll see it in companies, like how the company culture is. If there's a push or a squash, or we're going to fit you in here, instead of allowing this unleashing of true talent, see it everywhere.
I'm going to look at our comments.
Instead of
allowing we're a little bit delay. Okay, so Sierra said, I'm guilty of caught up in the personal development world. Ha ha. Oh yeah, I get it. Guidance is for safety. Yes, Elle. Yeah, I love it. Sierra's amazing. She's really a bright soul. She does a lot of personal development world stuff. But I will say, Sierra, if you're still watching, I don't know how long ago that was. I will say, as much as you're in the personal development world, I see you taking a lot of action, girlfriend. I see you on these Facebook Lives. I see you
Well,
doing all this stuff. And I think that's, I mean, the thing is, yeah, yeah.
I think about like personal development. At least the books aren't on the shelf help. So many people purchase things and never even read them.
Oh, girl, the shelf
We
help
have people
book.
purchase our courses and never even do them. But that's called shelf
Most
help.
people don't finish them. The shelf help. Snap. The shelf help books. I said it 3 times. I'm like, I'm gonna be like cracking up laughing after the video. I'm gonna like lay in bed tonight before I go to sleep, and I'm gonna look at my cat and be like, she said shelf help.
So funny.
I've never
Well,
heard
I
that.
learned that term from an entrepreneur.
I get it. I mean, we've all done it. Like I've bought plenty of. Oh yeah. Oh sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I bought plenty of books.
Yeah.
And they sit on the shelf, and then other ones, you know, I've read part way and not the whole way. But the best ones are the ones you implement.
Let me ask you a question about that, because all right, so we'll purchase things, but when you and I have both up leveled and actually invested in coaching with real life people, we go to events, we actually have personal coaches in our life, and we've dropped a huge investment to do that.
Let's just say we could sit here for the next couple minutes. You ready? Thousands and thousands and thousands. Like we could sit here for a couple minutes and say that same word until it added up.
Yeah, it's like
and it's
PhD.
all been worth it times. It's all been worth it times a bajillion, I believe. You know.
Yes.
Because it's way better than any $10 shelf help book ever.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to get to. So many people get, oh, I'll just get the free course. Oh, I'll just get the $97 course or the $497 course. I know that was me. That's what I did at first. And what I realized was it's not until you actually invest that you will up level to that level that you really want to be.
You know what, too? It's so true. And I just realized if people come to our retreat, they're almost getting like a year's worth of coaching. Like if you put in all the hours they're going to be with us, it's probably about 9 to 12 months of private coaching with us.
You're right. You're right.
Get to the retreat. Like I just realized, I'm like, it's a no-brainer.
So beautiful.
At that point, considering, because we're talking about the investments and all the things we've done, and then we're inviting people to come do stuff with us, and I'm like, girl, this is the last time we're going to offer this good of a deal. I'm just saying, because it you know me, I'm always up level. We're always up leveling people. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
This is a retreat we're doing together. We may offer this great of a deal again. I can't promise. I don't know what the future holds. But what I will tell you, I highly doubt it.
Highly doubt it. Yeah.
Because it's anybody who takes advantage of this. Here's what I would love. I'm gonna offer something special to people today, right now, because I'm just feeling like it. If anybody's watching this video still after we've been on for a while, if you choose to sign up with us for the retreat, I'm going to give you an extra 3 months private coaching. Boom. Wow. You got to sign up by end of Monday. End of Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So 6, 7, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll give you an extra 3 months of coaching. It's a $10,000 value. Okay. So I'm offering that to people because I'm just jazzed. I'm just having a really good conversation with you right now. And I'm like, you know what we're offering at this retreat is amazing. And I just realized, I literally just realized, I'm like, they're getting like a year's worth of coaching in a weekend with us each. And whoever's a fast action taker, we reward. Or I'm rewarding. You don't have to be. They'll get enough. They got enough. But if somebody wants to work with me for 3 months privately on their body, I'm going to gift it to you for signing up by end of day Monday. I'm so excited.
Amazing, and I'll do the same thing. So.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And listen, here's what I want to tell you. If you think you can't do 2 coaches at one time, you either can do it one time or you can do 3 months and 3 months. So you can have a whole 6 months of coaching by just going to the retreat. Unreal. I'm like mind blown all of a sudden. I'm like, this is amazing. We're so fun. I love you.
Message Leela or message me, because I need, we're gonna do a little special something too. We're extending our 997.
Yeah, it's 997. This is crazy. We are crazy. I love you. I'm so happy. So 997 gets you the retreat. It gets you the all of the training, all of the food, all of the stay. A beautiful place in Pentwater, beautiful people. You're going to leave with new friends, whole new vision on life, and then another 6 months of private coaching for 997. It's at least like $40,000 value with all the things added up. We're crazy. What are we doing today? This is so
I don't know. It's Sunday.
It's summertime Sunday. I'm like, I hope somebody's watching and takes advantage of it, because if not, they're going to miss out. We'll share it out and let people know. But this is kind of epic. I feel like this is an epic moment we're giving. I say generous CEOs are prosperous CEOs. So we want people to prosper and love themselves so much, like we love ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're willing to show up even bigger.
Yeah. Yep. So
all right, girl.
How's that feel? Us and we will
message us. Send us a message. We have payment plans.
Yes.
Yeah. If you think like I can't afford it.
Yes, you can.
Not
we will help you.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. We'll help you. Just reach out. Listen, if you think you can't afford it, but you really want to go, message us and at least let's have a conversation. Let's just talk about it and figure out, what makes sense. If there's a way that we can figure out how to help you, we will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yes.
We've been helped and we help others.
This is true. We've been helped. Thank you for saying that. On that, I want to leave on that note. I want to say I'm just grateful for all of the people, all of the humans along the way that have helped me in all ways, good or bad, that felt good or not. I'm so grateful for all the humans along the way, and I'm grateful for all the humans coming forward.
I'm grateful too. It's amazing.
Thanks, babe. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. I'll see everybody else Facebook tomorrow. Peace.
Bye.